your art is good, like actually good. So why does it feel like nobody remembers you? Why does someone look at your art and go, oh, that's cute, and then completely forget you exist? Well, thanks to my almost useless graphic design degree, I figured it out. It's not your skill. It's your brand. Let's fix that, shall we? A lot of artists think branding is having a unique art style. That's like saying cooking is having a fancy patterned spatula with a bow. The spatula matters, yes, but it's not the meal. Your brand is the feeling someone gets when they see your work. Even before they see your signature, they should be able to scroll past your art and go, oh, that's her. That's the goal. Yes, some artists make it about their art style, but some people have way more to offer than that. And oh boy, are they missing out. When your brand is clear, people remember you. They tag you, they commission you. When it's not, they enjoy your work in the moment and never think about you again, which is heartbreaking because your art deserves to be remembered. It's extremely unfortunate that we as artists who just want to draw and have fun are forced into an influencer role. You can't really focus on your art as much as you want to when you're all caught up with algorithms, reels, shorts, YouTube, live streaming, advertising. I could go on. Unfortunately, I don't have a way to avoid this. But I'll try to help you own that influencer title with a little more ease. I want to preface this video by saying I am still learning this whole branding thing, but unlike most disclaimers I put in videos, I actually have a degree in this, so I kind of know what I'm doing this time. Still, make sure to cross-reference my videos with other amazing graphic designers out there and share your own tips on branding in the comments below. Let's get started. Before you touch a logo, before you pick a font, you need to know what your art makes the viewer feel. What is the vibe of your art? Dark and moody? Soft and cottagecore? Chaotic and maximalist? Write down 5 words. Mine are cute, soft, magical, a little chaotic, and warm, give or take. Feel free to pause the video and come back or save this for later. Now, go find images. Not art necessarily, but anything. Textures, colors, aesthetics, fashion, interior design, whatever feels like your brand. You're building a reference library for your brain here. If you're struggling, look at your own art. What do your pieces have in common? What colors keep showing up? Your brand might already be in your work. You just haven't named it yet. Ask yourself, if my art was a coffee shop, what would it look like? If it was an outfit, what would I be wearing? It sounds silly, but it really works. It forces you to think emotionally, not logically, which usually isn't a good idea, but when it comes to branding, it's a good idea. I just realized I haven't made a mood board for my own brand yet. Here's a mood board I made for myself. Totally not just right now. You can see it has the same feeling as the branding you see today in my own work. Let's talk about the 4 pillars of visual identity. I just made that up myself. I don't know if that's an actual term. That is color, typography, logos, and visual style. We're talking about your branding here, not your art. Though you can limit your art to certain colors, I think that's a bit suffocating personally. So think of what your logos, banners, personas, colors are going to be here. Pick 3 to 5 colors max. A primary, a secondary, an accent, and maybe a neutral. That's it. I know you want all the colors. I did at first too, and look how that turned out. Consistency is what makes you recognizable. My palette is here, and every piece of content that I make lives inside of these. I got the hex codes and everything. Pro tip. Pick colors that complement your art style or persona, not just random colors. Test them against your actual work and see how it complements them. Specifically, complements. What I did is I made my color palette the exact same as my VTuber model. Don't be afraid to veer off the color palette a little too. I have purples and blues in my branding as well, after all. Next is typography. You need 2 fonts, a display font for headings, logos, and titles, and a body font for descriptions, captions, and fine print. You can have 3, but I've noticed that 2 is better. Now, in general, graphic design, when it comes to branding, never, ever, ever go over 3 fonts. It rarely ever works, so just do 1 to 3 fonts and we'll go from there. The fonts should feel related, but not identical. Here's a graph I used a ton back in college, super useful to get you started. Did you take a screenshot? Okay, let's continue. I don't have a very strict typography, but I always use Nunito for my font, and for special occasions, I use this font, which I can't remember the name of as recording this video. This is a font commonly used by VTubers for the logos, but I also like using it for titles, for thumbnails, and stuff, so yeah. Google Fonts and DaFont are great resources, just be very wary of DaFont because they're known to steal fonts. Always cross-reference the font name and double check to make sure there isn't a license for it, because if it says it's commercial friendly, It might not be, so take DeFont with a grain of salt, but it's still useful to get started. I would say personally, pay for a good font license if you're serious and fall in love with it. There's nothing wrong with paying for a license. It's forever, you always have it. Now onto the logo. This could be an entirely different video, so I'm gonna be vague. Your logo doesn't have to be a mascot. It can be literally just your name in a chosen font. What matters is that it's consistent. Same version, every platform, every time. Here's my logo, for example. This is not the same as your signature, though it can be if you really want to. My signature is different than my logo. I have a signature as a digitized version of my own handwriting. Yeah, and I actually made it a brush in Procreate, and I love it so much. If I still have it on TikTok, I'll show you the process of it here. Again, different than a logo. If you're a VTuber or an aspiring one, check these out for inspiration. This is what I used as a reference to make my own. Google is your best friend. But there's also lots of different ways to go about it. The point of a logo is to label your work as yours. Again, keep it consistent. Finally, your visual style. This is one most artists already have, your own art. Literally, regardless if you have a consistent style or not. And remember, it's completely okay to not have a consistent art style. We're gonna talk about one more on top of that. Target audience. It's like the bonus information, so fun. You may have heard the term target audience, but what does it actually mean? Well, it's your ideal person, not a set of people. Target audience is very misleading as a term. It's your target person. This person is your #1 fan. It's the person you build your entire brand around. You need to think about their age, gender, sexual orientation, race, religion, country of origin. What are their likes, dislikes, hobbies, careers, goals in life, you name it. We are getting so specific that this is a human being that you create in your mind that you make your videos for. I'm gonna bring up mine here. Does it remind you of someone? Is it you? Also, you look gorgeous today. If you make it for this particular person, this particular person will be attracted to your art. That's where a lot of people go wrong, like in anything that requires marketing of any kind, your art included, anybody who wants to do a social media account. You can't make a community if you don't attract the community. And you have to know in your head, like unless you're just some freak who just went viral all of a sudden without any plan, if you want to get big, then you need this idea in your head of the perfect person. And I can't emphasize this enough. This wasn't even originally in my notes from what I've researched. This is specifically out of my head because the #1 reason I got so big online was because I had a target audience in mind. You know, my art didn't always look like this. My art wasn't always super cute. I chose to morph my art style. Also, I do love super cute things. I didn't just do this for the views, but I morphed my particular art style into a cute avenue, and it turned out my art style is perfect for it. I started to fall in love with the colors, and I brought in an amazing audience that I love and I care about deeply. Now on to what's called the Brand Standards Manual. This is your secret weapon, by the way. I actually have a free brand standards template that I made for a few close friends, so I fine-tuned it and made one just for you so you can fill it out with me. It's linked in the description, by the way. Make sure also to make a duplicate of it, otherwise you won't be able to edit it. A brand standards manual, also called a brand guidelines, is basically a rule book for your own brand. Big companies have them, designers have them, artists, almost nobody does. Which means if you do this, you're already ahead. I've said this before and I'll say it again. If you want to be an artist on social media, you are a business. Even if you aren't a real business, according to the government. If you're serious about getting your art big online, you have to start thinking like a business. Here's generally what goes into a brand standards. Your logo, all approved versions and sizes, your color palette with exact hex codes, just like mine, your voice/tone, example, I sound like, friendly, slightly chaotic, encouraging, never formal, never mean, stuff like that. What you post and what you don't. An example would be I post art whips, process videos, OCs. I don't post political opinions or personal drama. Your content rules, consistent watermark placement, consistent background style, etc., etc., etc. It does not have to be exactly like this. But if you want an easier process getting started with all of this stuff, you'll want to be close. Athalie, why does this matter? This seems a little bit too complicated for what I need to become a successful artist, right? Actually, no. This is the bare minimum. When everything is written down, you stay consistent on your bad days. And if you ever hire a graphic designer, editor, collaborator, etc., you can hand them this document and your brand stays intact, no matter how big you get. Pro tip, You can make this in Canva, Notion, Google Docs, etc. It does not need to be fancy. The point is that it exists. All right, so my version of the brand standards that I'm gonna give to you is a lot messier than what you're gonna get. To be completely transparent with you, I haven't opened this in like a year, maybe 6 months. So I don't actually remember some of the things that I put in here. This is basically how to YouTube for beginners. Now, this is something that I've gotten from a whole bunch of different, like, analytics YouTubers who focus specifically on YouTube. So what I have at the top is, what do you want YouTube to do for you? And I'm going to change the verbiage. Social media is a job to make money with so I can do what I love and also support my family. Ultimately, I want to create art for fun, but anything to do with social media is to generate income to pay for my family, my son's college fund, things like that. And of course, wanting to monetize your artwork in any way is nothing to be ashamed of whatsoever. So I just want to make sure that's perfectly clear. What do you want to do with social media? Social media is an outlet to teach others to love themselves, use art as a form of therapy, and bring a little light to viewers' hearts in this dark and dreary world that we live in. I'm using my social media to bring positivity, creativity, and expression to the world because that is why I was brought onto this earth, to heal broken hearts. And I still believe that's true to this day. Am I good at it? I don't know. I don't know if I'm good at it, but I'm gonna try. So now we're going down to the niche, and the niche is fairly important. You're gonna want to know what you want to make your content about and try not to steer away from it. So what I have here is, which niche would you like to focus on? Examples include gaming, technology, art, reading, or knitting. Be broad here. Most of us here are going to want to be artists, animators, things like that. And believe it or not, art is not a narrow enough niche. So I put as a broad term, art, motivational speaking. I put motivational speaking because I wanted to sprinkle in life advice as I'm working through art to hopefully make people feel less sad. I know, vague. Now let's narrow it down. Research your niche topic and see if you can break it down into something even smaller. Examples include for art, animations, speed paints, memes, art tutorials. I put down using my experience as an artist as an example for others to follow and learn from. Digital art, drawing challenges, and tutorials. If you want to narrow it down to something even more than this, you are very much welcome to, but I also recommend giving yourself a bit of wiggle room because you're not going to be interested in the same thing for the rest of your life. I was stuck with color picker challenges for a really long time. Now I've kind of embraced it more. Now it's sprinkled with more content. The next section is target audience. This is what I was talking about before earlier in the video. Don't imagine audience as thousands of people. Instead, think of them as one single person. The perfect person that you make videos for. Who would you like them to be? Create them now. So I put in age 18 to 24, gender, female, non-binary, or trans women, demographic for life situation, lower class, struggling young adults. What do they need to be happy? With my ideal person, they need safety, love, and guidance. What do they hate or get annoyed by? Being talked down to, yelled at, and being made to feel unsafe. Now we're down to brand standard. This is the general vibe you want to bring to your audience. Examples include informative, entertaining, funny, or serious. I don't know if y'all would like that better if I highlighted it as I read it. So I put down wholesome, educational, funny, and enlightening. Brand anemones. These are traits that you want to avoid like the plague when it comes to your brand. So I put one as negativity. Negative vibes are our enemy. Hatred, hateful speech is not allowed over here. Boring content doesn't bring in viewers. Inconsistency, viewers need safety in knowing when the next video is out. And I know that sounds like y'all are a bunch of softies, but knowing exactly when a content creator is going to post, especially if you use them for like comfort. I watch Queso stream every single night if I'm not streaming during that time because Queso is my comfort streamer. That's a good example. So your position. Now this is specifically from a YouTuber. This is the goals and timeline, what you want to do in the next 12 months. And then it's broken down to like months 1 through 3. Over here is the brand guidelines section. Now this one right here, I don't really use at all. I have that color palette that I made, and that's this brand guideline. Let's talk about consistency. I'm not a great personal example of this. I have been inconsistent, and I've accidentally and stupidly, intentionally veered from my brand standards. Every time I have regretted it immensely. It surprised and shocked my viewers and left them confused. I lost trust in them, and I'm still trying to build that back up to this day. My point isn't to scare you. You are supposed to make mistakes. We're human and very much not perfect. The point is to take this seriously. Once you put your face online, real life or otherwise, you are there forever. Everything you do is written in stone. you will influence people. You will encourage people. You will make people make changes to their lives, whether you want to or not. It's important that you think very carefully about how your actions affect others before saying anything. And the brand standards manual helps a ton with that. You've seen plenty of examples from my own branding by now. What I want you to do is look at other YouTubers, content creators, businesses, you name it. Keep your eyes peeled on design elements, color palettes, and look at how they do their branding. Remember to not copy, of course. Let's go over what we've learned. Define your vibe. 5 words and a mood board. Build your core elements, palette, fonts, logo. Make your brand standards manual. Write it down. Apply it everywhere. Consistency is key. Study inspiration, but make it yours. Whew, that was a lot, and I am so sorry. But honestly, let's start with the mood board. Today, right now, open Pinterest. There you go, on a new tab. Let's go. Spend 20 minutes there, and I promise you will already feel more clear about your brand than you did before. I know it sucks to feel like you have to be an influencer to get anywhere online. Believe me, I know exactly how you feel. But I hope that this video made it a little bit easier to tackle that challenge. If y'all want me to sit down with you and build a brand in Canva, dive deeper on logos, or anything else that I may have missed in this video, let me know down below. And if this helped you, check out my VGen commission guide to learn more about how to monetize your artwork. I love each and every one of you. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your morning, afternoon, or evening. Goodbye! Mwah!